we? Hello everyone, and this is actually day 2. What we decided to do for our second full day here is we took a ferry. It was only €5 from central Lisbon across the river. There's this huge frigate, which I'm really excited to go see. That's right over there. I haven't ever seen one, so I'm stoked for that. And then there's a bunch of graffiti art along the river, and it's all free. So we're pretty excited. The Gallian isn't free, but you know, the graffiti and the abandoned buildings, of course, are free.
One would hope.
One would hope. Here they are toasting to what can I assume is slavery and spices and all the riches that came with it.
Okay, so in this area, what we're going to have is like the medical area. So right here we have the medicine cabinet where all medicines and supplies were stored. We have the very clean and hygienic surgery area. And this is just the pilot's cabinet. So we got to be next to the dying, sick people. Crew mess tables.
Whittling. I mean, what else are you going to do days on end other than whittle wood? Here's some nice lead-based pewter plates and cups. And this is the drunken sailor.
Passenger cabins, which are of course better than the crew cabins.
Being on a ship with a bunch of stinky sailors would have its downsides, especially when you have Down syndrome. Here's the Three Stooges. Gunpowder storage. And the lantern room. So 2 highly flammable things right next to each other. So he would fix things. He's clearly very amazed with his woodworking capabilities. Like, that's like the look a scientist makes after he has a breakthrough. What? You know, come to think of it, this actually looks like that George Bush meme. Something else, as we're kind of wrapping up this tour here, is just how beautifully intricate and restored everything is. You have all these brass fittings that are beautifully polished. Even the rungs on barrels are really nice looking. These cannons are in perfect shape. Now, you know, as things were used, it didn't look this way, but to see something that's so historically preserved is quite impressive, and I would really recommend doing this for anybody who goes and visits Lisbon.
Eat it? Are you gonna eat it?
No.
Lovely. I don't know.
So if you take a look at this, it has more of like a crumbly consistency. It isn't overly creamy and mild.
Queijo seco, dry cheese.
Queijo seco, dry cheese. Look at the fattiness. Mmm.
It's very similar to prosciutto. A bit more briny, more chewy because it's thicker. A little bit saltier, but so good. 10 out of 10.
Just getting all the detail. All the detail. Isn't it good?
That's so good.
It's like the perfect tenderness. It isn't too chewy.
I just happened to grab the steak part, but very tender, like no resistance, you know, it just kind of melts in your mouth almost.
Hey, there's worse views out there, right? And my camera can't pick it up, but down in the water, way down there, and I'm scared of heights, so I'm kind of freaking out near the edge here, but there's these huge jellyfish. They look like giant trash bags, but it's nature, so it's more beautiful than that.
That's the worst description ever. That's more beautiful than
That's not the worst description.
They look like giant trash bags.
Well, the jellyfish look like a bunch of trash.
But beautiful.
Yeah, it's graceful trash. There's an example, I don't know if you can see, of the beautiful trash bags that nature has created that are called jellyfish. So graceful. Looks like a lot of people hang out here. It's kind of like a Golden Gate Park kind of vibe. Hey, kitty cat. So we have the Christ of the Andes in Brazil, and this is the Lisbon version right up there. It's not as big, apparently, but, you know, in solidarity with the Brazilians, that's what they do. Built themselves their matching statue.
Okay, we are currently at the Quinta de Arealva, which has a lot of history in Portugal. So this actually started belonging to a gentleman named Antonio in 1709, and it was his palace, essentially. And in 1757, I believe, an exiled Irish nobleman actually came and bought the property, or portion of the property, and started making a really profitable cooperage and winery from this property. This property contains farmland, winery, and lots of other buildings that were involved in the cooperage. It kind of evolved over time into kind of housing multiple things. At some time, this property was also used as a shipyard, and it was sold recently in the 1960s, and it became a wine warehouse for the Southern Wine Society in Portugal. After that, there was a big fire which kind of left most of the roofs burned and the property in a derelict condition and abandoned, and it is currently for sale if you actually ever want to buy this property for 6.9 million euro.
This is kind of interesting. Look at all the stamped tiles here. They all have, let's take a look. Fabricated, Lisbon, and then some Spanish word that I'm not familiar with.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Portuguese, sorry. So sorry to all the Portuguese people out there. There's just graffiti wherever you go. That looks like quite the obstacle course. Wow. I know there's more over there on that side. There's just murals all over the place. It's just unbelievable.
It's a massive place.
So that was a really fun adventure. I would recommend that once again to everybody. It's just a much quieter pace out here. Lisbon, kind of everybody sort of has a tourist hustle there, really not too different from Amsterdam in that respect. And then you cross the ferry, get over here, everything is way quiet. You go on this lovely walk. There's almost like this Golden Gate Park kind of feel nearby, where that Doomsday elevator was earlier. The ferry was like €4 or €5 per person, and everything else, other than the dinner of course, was really inexpensive. Lisbon in the center, it can be a little bit overwhelming, and coming over here is so nice.